His parents were still married. "It's imperative we make you the CEO of Sterling Worldwide. This madness must stop at once." Rebecca finished. "Mother, he bought her a $40,000 ring. I saw a picture of it in his email. Gaudy. He has terrible judgment and even worse taste." She shoved the manila folders back to the center of the desk. Because of Theodore's unstable behavior, his mother suspected her husband had the early stages of dementia. His physician disagreed, saying that Theodore was at an age where he'd acquired vast wealth and wanted to enjoy it. The motorcycles he couldn't ride, and the yacht that needed a crew were proof of that, as were the classic Rolls-Royce, a chauffeur, a chateau in France, and a 23-year-old mistress to enjoy it with. Rafe suspected that both his mother and the doctor were partially correct. Theodore had never wanted any part in Sterling Worldwide. He'd been the unexpected and much pampered, late-in-life and third-born child of Baron and Penelope Sterling. His parents had believed Theodore to be nothing less than a gift from God, and they'd treated him as such, indulging his every whim, allowing him to travel the world from a young age, buying him gifts that had been denied to his siblings. He'd also bypassed the boarding schools that the other Sterling children had attended. But his parents had insisted on a college education. They'd made a sizable donation to the university's foundation to ensure he received passing grades. Surprising everyone, including himself, he'd excelled in business school. When his older brother, Baron Sterling Jr., had been killed in a hunting accident, Theodore had been thrust into the unwelcome role as heir and CEO of a worldwide hotel empire. He hadn't known that his much more qualified sister couldn't inherit the business. He'd hired attorneys, but in the end, the terms were absolute. Theodore had lost his freedom and his jet-setting lifestyle. Within a week of his brother's burial, he was married to the formidable Rebecca, a woman his mother had selected. Now that Rafe had proven himself competent as the conglomerate's chief financial officer, Theodore had run away from his day-to-day responsibilities in favor of living the life he'd imagined. Unaware or uncaring that her son hadn't responded, Rebecca continued. "Ms. Malloy," she pointed to the brunette, "has compiled a list of suitable candidates for your consideration." "Candidates?" "To become your wife," Ms. Malloy clarified, taking over the meeting. She crossed the room toward him, her hips swaying, and her peep-toe shoes sounding a tattoo that did evil things to his libido. When she stopped near his desk, her scent reached him. Lilacs and summer, a contrast to the darkness that hovered over his life. "The list has been narrowed to 5 finalists for your consideration." Obviously, she had no clue she was rearranging his brain cells. "Each of the ladies is qualified to be your wife. Of course, for your privacy, they only know certain things about you. A general description, the fact that you're an executive, that you live in Houston. The women have been interviewed and pre-screened. We have non-disclosures on record, so any exchange of information will be confidential. Because time is of the essence, a mixer on Thursday or Friday would be most expeditious. If you prefer, we can arrange casual meetings, coffee or breakfast, perhaps lunch as you narrow your selection to 3. From there, we will be happy to set up dinners. That way you can get to know her before actual social events. We can make it appear like a whirlwind romance and—" "Stop." He held up a hand and trapped her gaze. "Who the fuck are you?" "I didn't realize that you weren't aware." She glanced toward his mother, but Rebecca looked down to pluck a piece of lint from her skirt. Recovering, the brunette smiled. The gesture was quick, practiced, and polished, meant to impart confidence without being too familiar. Irrationally, she irritated the hell out of her.